I just listened to an episode all about the power of showing up. And I kind of wonder if you want to go on a little diatribe about that for our audience.
Yeah, totally. I do. I feel really strongly on this topic. So the gist of the episode is that, especially in the current day and age, there's so many cool things going on online that you can sign up for. So many, programs and classes and webinars and trainings and all these things. And it's really easy, I think, to sign up for them and then never go and just store them away for later, like your little squirrel stashing them away just in case you need them. And I think there's some value in that, especially if you think, oh, I really definitely want to know this and I just can't go right now.
Right.
But I also think there's just so much value in showing up live and being there in real time. And it's not just to sort of assuage the teacher's insecurities, it's which is a part of it. But when you are there live, there's a different type of interaction. You're not just consuming, you're engaging. And to me, that's a very different energetic of, are you participating? Are you building community? Are you connecting with not just the teacher, but the other people who are there? Are you like showing your face and making yourself known? And that's so different than like listening to it on 2X as you fall asleep that night. It's like a totally different thing. And, I get a lot of questions from people that are like, oh, how do I build my practice? How do I get referrals? How do I, tell people what I do? And I'm like, part of it is showing up to those kinds of things. Like if you're in a class, or if you're in the HerbRally Schoolhouse and there's a live thing, or if you're taking a training on whatever, and there's a live component, or there's a community forum where you can show up. If you show up there consistently, even just like once a week, or occasionally leave a comment, write a note to the teacher or somebody you connected with, it makes such a huge difference. And that is how people remember you. And then they're like, oh yeah, I met that person in that class. I'm going to send somebody their way. It's not about you just somehow asking them. It's like you show up, you come to the surface of their consciousness, they know you, and that makes all the difference. So I think that's so important. And, as somebody who's taught classes with hundreds of people in them, sometimes it's surprising how few people will actually write back and say like, oh, that was great. Thank you so much. Or this is something I learned. Or even like I don't know if you've seen this on your newsletter or not, but you can have like thousands of people in your newsletter send something out, and not that many people write back and just say, oh, this was a great newsletter. This really helped me. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's only a small handful of people. So you're not nobody. You feel like, oh, maybe I'm just one of the crowd. It doesn't matter. Totally matters. If something helped you or served you or touched you, you just like write and tell the person that made a difference for me. It really, really matters.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. For the longest time with the HerbRally podcast, I felt like I was just putting these episodes out into the void. And I don't think podcast is a very interactive medium per se, but yeah, it doesn't hurt to just say, when I say, oh, you can email me anytime, mason@herbrally.com, give me your feedback, constructive criticism, just say hi, and then never receive any sort of feedback. So it is very beneficial. Yeah. From the presenter's standpoint. Yeah. Just to receive that, I guess, validation. And I really want to highlight what you're talking about as far as building community. Shout out to Lydia, because every YouTube video that we publish, she's always saying like, hi, or just leaving a heart or this or that. And you know what? I went over to her YouTube channel. I gave her a subscribe, and now I feel like I kind of have a relationship with this person. And it really does it's not just an ego trip thing. Like you need to tell me how well we're doing or whatever. But that does feel nice. But at the same time, I really do think it helps build community.
Yeah. It's a connection that Lydia didn't have before and you didn't have before. And now there's there's like that relationship, that network. I always think of it as like the roots underground that are interacting with each other and talking to each other and supporting each other. And that's how we build as a field and as a profession, is just like supporting each other.
Amen. That's what HerbRally is all about.